applicant to amend the zoning ordinance map to rezone a portion of Assessors Plat 4, Lot 144 to be business highway. As shown on plan entitled Zone Change Map to John Russo dated September 2018, December 13, 2018, and January 3rd, 2019. The first item is, I'd entertain a motion to reopen the public hearing.
So moved, Mr. President.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Roll call vote.
Mr. President, just for a point of reference, it's actually a continuation of the public hearing. We never closed it. Otherwise, we have to be advertising.
I'll amend my motion to do that.
Yeah, just
Motion to continue the public
Yeah,
hearing.
I'll amend my motion so that we can continue the public hearing.
Second. Second. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes. And we'll do the same as we've done in the past, where we'll let the applicant make their presentation, and then any people that are supporting it will speak, and then after the remonstrance, we give them a chance to speak.
Good evening, council members. Again, I'm Tim Dodd, representing John Russo in this matter. When we were here last, the evening was getting late, and I think the main issue that remained open, you didn't close the public hearing so that Mr. Russo could consider whether you were to be voting on simply the plan that you see before you, which has that hourglass-shaped lot, if you will, with the split zone, or
What's the date on that drawing, Mr. Todd?
Is it 1/3/19?
It'll be right above the stamp.
I believe it is the 1/3/19. It's not the labor of the point, but it's the one that has.
Hang on, Mr. Dodd, this is an important point.
Yeah, right in the bottom.
So,
On the right in front.
If you're using the same proposal that we've had too, you have 3 dates on that one.
It's 1/3/19.
Yeah.
Thank
Might
you
read
very
off
much.
the other two that preceded it, please, just for the record.
12/13/18.
And 11/9, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, having been given the opportunity to consider whether we're seeking a vote on simply the plan that's on the easel or the alternate plan, it would be our request that you simply vote on this map here, which provides for the hourglass-shaped lot, so-called, and the 2 lots in split zone, so that there would be business highway at the front and remain residential at the rear. And again, this is not the original map that we had put forth when we submitted these applications, but we've made many efforts to take into account concerns of the council members, your questions, your comments, your concerns, as well as those of the neighbors, which is why we've created a significant buffer to the rear. In addition to where John Russo Jr.'s single-family residential home would go, there's a considerable amount of space that would remain as a buffer behind the business highway lot. We've attempted to listen to the concerns. We've done what we can to mitigate the concerns of the neighbors. Mr. Russo has stipulated that he would not expand his auto body or auto repair business if you see fit to grant the business highway split zone, which abuts his property. He's already testified that he expects that he would have a less intensive use commercial stores, things of that nature. There's been concerns raised that we don't know what he might put there. But certainly any plans that Mr. Russo would have in the future would have to go through the appropriate design review committee and whatever other stipulations he would require and hoops that he would have to go through to get approval for whatever plans he may wish to utilize in the future. So if you give him permission and you do give him the business highway at the front, he just can't run off and do anything he wants. He still has to go through the appropriate development steps depending on what his proposed development might be in a year or 2 or 3, whatever you choose to do it. We believe there's sufficient screening, natural vegetation, green screening, if you will, at the back portion, which will remain residential on the 2 split zone lots. If the council saw fit to require more green screening, we'd be willing to do that. Certainly under supervision and agreement about what will be planted. We want to make sure we're screened from the neighbors. We want the neighbors to be as satisfied as they can be, but also get the relief that we're looking for. So if the council has any other provisions or stipulations or concerns of that nature, we're open to listening to that and to accommodating whatever the council might see fit to impose if the relief being sought is granted. Now, since the meeting was kept open, since the open forum was kept open, we never closed it. Now that we've suggested to the council that we only want to vote on this plan, last time it was going to be potentially an alternate, this plan or that plan. Your public hearing is still open. I guess we can have lots more witnesses come before you. But in my recollection was the main reason for keeping this open was so that we could make an election as to which plan we wish you to vote on. Having informed you, if you want to continue to take testimony that you, I think, have heard from everybody exhaustively on this, I guess we can go down that road. Or having informed you folks of our decision, if you see fit to close it and have a vote, that's fine by us. Whatever you want to do.
Are there any questions of Mr. Todd, Mr. Russo?
More of a statement, Mr. President. I understand the applicant's not wishes to move through this process, but I certainly do want to hear from any resident or any person that has interest in coming before us and speaking before a decision is made. Hold this.
No, I mean, people see here, that's towards us.
Yeah.
But towards this, can we turn your easel towards the audience, please? And we don't have anything that we can put on the screen.
I'm just going to verify the dates.
Okay.
Turn it around.
Michael,
Just give me 1 second.
Mr. Todd and Mr. Russo, do you have anyone else here that you would speak in favor of this proposal?
I believe there are members of the audience who would wish to speak in favor of this. If you're going to continue taking comments both positively and negatively, I believe there are others in the audience who would be speaking on behalf of this application. Unless you have any questions for us.
Any other questions for Mr. Russo and Mr. Todd at this time?
I'd like to, before I leave you, I'd like to hear what No, I just feel that I'd like to hear from you, taking into consideration what we've looked at afterwards. And that goes for anyone for I want to say young, old, young, I'm sorry, in the father, sounds better. And then property owners in that vicinity.
Mr. Dodd, did I hear you say that the applicant would be willing to give more of a buffer area than what's on this map?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir. The door was shut.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Thank you.
Mr. Dodd, did I hear you earlier say that the applicant would consider providing more of a buffer zone at the back of the proposed business highway?
No, not more real estate, but green screening.
Green screening?
Yes.
Okay. Am I missing it? It's not. It's something you would have to add to this plan?
It's not in the plan.
Right.
It's simply something that suggested that if the council saw fit to grant this application, but thought that more green screening might be something that would help ameliorate the concerns of the neighbors, that we are open to doing such a thing if the council instructs us to do so. We're not stipulating to anything, but we're indicating an openness to do it if that's an issue that's still before the council or a concern to the neighbors. So it's not giving up more land, but we would be certainly agreeable to adding green vegetation and screening.
In perpetuity, there's green screening and...
Of course, yes, to maintain it.
Of course, 5 years from now, it's gone, so we have to make sure. If you would...
If that was a stipulation that the council made, we would abide by it.
Okay. So if you look at the proposed business highway, the angle that it goes off, and you look at the building setback a lot, there's a property to the north of it, Paul Jr. and Denise Mager. They really, apart from the setback, you can look at the angle of this. There's more. You have the residential, which was approved at the last meeting, which is a buffer in itself, sort of kind. And the buffer is a triangle, and it's you look at Mager's property and Coney's property. It starts to dissipate as it goes out toward Mager's property. So.
I don't disagree. Some have more buffer, some have less buffer, but we're trying to get a happy medium amongst everybody's interests. So
Okay.
some of the abutters have more, some have not as much.
Excuse me, Megan's property comes off Mount Pleasant Road, and the property that abuts this piece of property is all wetlands back there. So there's nothing there. They're on top of the hill on Mount Pleasant Road, and this is the low area of the property abutting 1401.
Yeah, from the plan, it does not show the approximate location of the house. That's why I can't see it. So if we're on the plan, I would see it.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this project? You can come up to the podium now.
Thank you.
And when you get up, please state your name and your address for the record.
Brian Van Houw.
I'm sorry, sir, your name?
Brian Van Houw.
Spelling your last name?
VanHouwB.
Thank you.
135 Woonsocket Road. I think this is a smart plan, what's being proposed. I think it's a great usage of the area. We've got businesses that are surrounding that whole area already on all four corners, and there's residential as well. They're proposing a combination of the two. I think it's just a smart thing for the area. That's it.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Tom McGee, 125 Black Plain Road, Smithfield. I just, like I said, public meeting, I'm not going to give you any more new information than what I had. The only thing I'd like to say is it's business highway. It's a business highway. It doesn't get any plainer than that's a use for business highway. As far as, you know, businesses and everything, like the lawyer said, you got to go through zoning. You got to go through everything. Everybody's not happy when things like this happen, but the whole town has to share in business things. You know, when Anchor Subaru went in, those neighbors lost a little. but North Smithfield gained. 12,000 people gained. You know, not just like 5 or 6 that don't want it to come here. There's been nothing on this area for a long time, and it's been killed by different people in this town, in this area. And it's like dead. Anytime you want to do something, it's negative. I mean, honestly, we're a different town than we were before. We need more money. We need more tax. 4% I'm hearing for the schools are asking. Firemen equipment, police equipment, town equipment. We're not a little small town anymore. We can't get away with just the little bedroom community that we are. I mean, I sized up that sewer project to create enough relief for that whole corner. I mean, I hate to waste it. I mean, it's there. We did it for a reason. It'll only help the area. I'm sure it's a clean spot. And like I said, to be honest with you, as a businessman, I tried to tell John not to do this, not to give the lot to his son. I mean, you know, love you to death, John, but honestly, it's a bad move. I would have went business highway right to the back if it was my property. I think this is kind of a deal for the neighbors, because if it was me and I owned it, I'd go business highway right to the back and say, you know what, John, go somewhere else. This is you know, very important to use this for business highway. So I mean, really, you're getting a lot for a buffer, plus they're willing to put some greens there. And like I said, the guy's worked 40 years, his whole life here, always contributed to everything, always done things. And when someone works hard and they ask at the end, when they're getting ready to retire, if they could use some business highway and, you know, make some smart moves so maybe he can get some rentals at the end of his, you know, not life, but career, you know? But I just think that it's fair in this situation. We've got dead land there, dead land doing nothing. We've got our borders, Uxbridge, and like I said, it's a broken record. We're all going to say the same thing. The water's going to be protected. No, my well gets tested. If anyone's afraid of wells, it's me. My well gets tested by the state. If that well goes down, I'm in trouble. So believe me, that's why we made a point to bring the sewer up, which another company tied in right across from us. We're cleaning that area up. It's better than ever. And like, you know, I hate to see the taxes go over the board to Burrville, where they're just building our end up. If you go down right over the line, they've got all kinds of businesses going over there, and they're going to do more. All we'd like is a little piece to help us, and we've got a dead field there. It's not like it's an attractive field. It's sitting there with one tree on it, half dead. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's a no-brainer. Business highway. Business highway. It doesn't belong on Georgiana. It doesn't belong on Black Plain. It belongs on Business Highway. It can't be any clearer than that. And I think you'd be proud if you did that for him. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one else to speak in favor of it? Anyone like to speak opposed to it? Please come up to the podium, state your name and your address. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, no, yeah.
Good evening. My name is Nancy Gray, and I live at 1 Georgiana Avenue in North Smithfield. This is my first time speaking about this issue. I have many neighbors and myself that will be highly affected by this change. This is zoned residential. The town is thinking of the tax revenue. We are asking you to consider important factors. As you have heard before, it will decrease property value, affect our groundwaters, increase traffic, and there are places in town for many businesses. I have a question. It's addressed to the council and to the owners of the property. Why isn't this property divided into house lots and sold? It could perhaps be divided into 3 or 4 different house lots. And a substantial financial gain would be taken by the owner of the property. The town would not have, the town would again tax money, and the residents around that area would not be affected. It would preserve their property rights, their property value. It would decrease traffic, and it just basically to me makes sense. You can sell a house lot in North Smithfield for a substantial amount of money. I know we moved here and built our home here because this town had a certain atmosphere. It wasn't a Cranston, it wasn't a Mineral Spring Avenue type of setup. We do have many businesses and many places to locate businesses. This would make, this is a very large parcel of land, and divided into house lots, to me, makes sense. The town would gain financially from the taxes, and would also make the residents, since it is zoned residential around that area, very happy.